Hey everyone, this is Michael again, and welcome to the Monday Night Raw review. Monday Night Raw tonight was from the Intrust Bank Arena in Wichita, Kansas. And Monday Night Raw tonight, the show was very boring, in my opinion. This was a terrible show, terrible Monday Night Raw, as always. But on tonight's show, we saw Cody Rhodes. He ended up taking on The Miz. We had Becky Lynch in action, where she ended up taking on Chelsea Green. We had a Money in the Bank qualifying match. Damian Priest ended up taking on Matt Riddle. We had Bronson Reed versus Ricochet. Shayna Baszler versus Smiley Raquel Rodriguez. We had Chad Gable versus Erik. And the main event, the Undisputed WWE Tag Team Championship was on the line, where Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn defended the title against Gunther and Ludwig Kaiser of Imperium. But overall, Monday Night Raw, just a terrible, boring, awful show. It was tonight. But before I get into the review, if you guys haven't checked out my previous video that I uploaded earlier today, did a movie review of Indiana Jones and the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. So if you guys haven't checked out my review of that, definitely give it a watch. But reviewed 4 of the Indiana Jones films so far. Now waiting until Dial of Destiny comes out at the end of the month. So then I reviewed all of the Indiana Jones films. Yeah, so check out my review of Indiana Jones and the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull if you guys haven't seen it. But anyways, let's jump right into the review. Monday Night Raw opened up tonight with Rhea Ripley, the SmackDown Women's Champion, which she is a Raw superstar and she's still carrying around the SmackDown Women's Championship. No explanation still as to why, she's still carrying the SmackDown Women's Championship when she's a Raw superstar. But Rhea Ripley made her way down to the ring, and Adam Pearce was in the ring. So he was in the ring. The ring was decorated with a red carpet, and there was a platform, and there was a championship under a black covering. So obviously, since Asuka was awarded a new women's championship on SmackDown on Friday, why not WWE give a new championship to Rhea Ripley? So as Rhea Ripley came into the ring, Adam Pearce ended up saying to Rhea, on behalf of WWE, it is his pleasure to present her the brand new Women's World Championship. So Adam Pearce ended up revealing the Women's World Championship, and pretty much it's basically Seth Rollins' World Heavyweight Championship, only with a white strap. Yeah, very lazy and uncreative there. It just looks the same as Seth Rollins' World Heavyweight Championship, only with a white strap. But I gotta say, the Women's World Championship, it looks very nice with a white strap, and it actually looks like a proper Women's Championship. They gave Rhea Ripley the better looking championship than what they gave Asuka. Yeah, Rhea Ripley's new Women's World Championship looks better than what they gave Asuka from what we saw Friday on SmackDown. So, pretty much, we had Dominic Mysterio end up coming out. He celebrated with Mami, and he got boos from the crowd, of course. So, Dominic ended up putting the new Women's World Championship around Rhea Ripley's waist. Rhea Ripley got on the mic, and she kept saying, Dom, tell them how amazing I am. So Dom then took the mic, and the loud boos, started coming from the crowd to Dominic. So Dom got on the mic. He kept saying, "This is disrespectful to him and Mommy." He kept saying, "Everyone knows behind every great woman is a great man." Dom ended up saying that he's glad he can be that for Mommy and will always be there to support her. So then Cody Rhodes ended up coming out. Cody Rhodes came out, the crowd, of course, singing along to a song, going, "Whoa!" So the crowd was then chanting for Cody. Cody still had his cast on his arm. So he got on the mic. He kept saying, "So Kansas, what do you want to talk about?" Cody ended up saying that he has all the respect in the world for Rhea Ripley and the championship she is holding. He kept saying we could also talk about his match with The Miz later on. So Cody ended up saying that he wants to try something else. So a replay was then shown of Dominic calling Cody a deadbeat dad, which we saw last week on Monday Night Raw. So Cody ended up calling Dominic a mistake. And that was when Dom snuck up on Cody and slapped him in the face. And then, of course, Cody hid behind Rhea Ripley. So we saw the replay of that from last week. So then Dom put his arm around Rhea Ripley. Cody ended up saying that it would be nice to come out here and hear Brock Lesnar's music, because that means he's accepted his challenge. Brock accepts his challenge. And Cody ended up saying that Lesnar doesn't have the balls to face him. Cody then issued a challenge to Dom to face him at Money in the Bank. So Dom started to think about it, and he started to speak, only for the crowd to loudly boo him. Dom ended up saying that he is afraid of no one. He ended up saying that he embarrassed Cody in the middle of the ring as he would anyone else. So then the crowd started chanting, "You suck," to Dom. Cody ended up saying that he wants to make it clear, but first he wants to hear the crowd chant again, to which the crowd ended up chanting, "You suck" again to Dominic. So Cody ended up saying to Dom, "Is it a yes or a no?" So the crowd started chanting yes. Rhea Ripley ended up saying that her Latino heat is more man than anyone here, or at home, or Cody Rhodes. So Rhea Ripley ended up saying that Dom accepts the match. So then Cody ended up turning around to punch The Miz down, because The Miz was going to attack Cody from behind. So that's when Cody punched The Miz down. Cody then turned to Dom, and Dom ended up backing away. Cody then clotheslined Miz out of the ring, and then Dom ended up clubbing Cody in the back of the head, and he took Cody down, to which Dom ran away with Rhea Ripley, and both Dom and Rhea Ripley started laughing, and pretty much that was basically that. Overall, this was just a meh segment to open Monday Night Raw tonight. But, okay, we're getting Cody Rhodes versus Dominic Mysterio at Money in the Bank. So, but Cody will probably bring Dom to a good match there. And then as Monday Night Raw came back from the commercial, we had Cody Rhodes versus The Miz, the first match of the night. And this was a decent match here. So Miz quickly applied a waistlock to Cody. Cody quickly whipped The Miz off, and Cody delivered a dropkick to Miz. Cody ducked the clothesline from The Miz, and he ended up dropping down, and he uppercutted Miz. Cody ended up going for a suplex, but Miz flipped through. Cody ended up fighting out of the skull-crushing finale and sent Miz out of the ring. Miz quickly got on the apron, and Cody ended up taking Miz out with a springboard kick to his face. Cody ended up going up to the top rope to deliver a dive out to the floor to the Miz, but Miz moved out of the way. Cody ended up getting down from the top, and he ended up taking Miz out with a suicide dive. Cody ended up getting Miz in the ring, and Miz was begging Cody off. Cody then blocked a kick from the Miz, and both guys ended up fumbling a dragon screw. Cody then grabbed Miz's leg and attacked it. Cody then ended up hitting a leg snapper to the Miz, so Miz was shown hobbling around. The crowd was behind Cody here. They were chanting, "Let's go, Cody." So Cody then wrenched Miz's arm. He ended up putting Miz in the corner. Cody then delivered a chop to Miz's chest, and he put the Miz in the corner. Cody then stomped the Miz in the corner and backed up. So Cody ended up charging at the Miz, but Miz ended up putting Cody on the apron. Miz ended up sliding through Cody's legs, and he pulled Cody down face first into the ring steps. Miz then bounced Cody off the commentary table, and he ended up knocking Cody back into the ring, started punching him. And of course, we had the stupid tiny balls chant from the crowd. We're still with this fucking shit with tiny balls for the Miz. It's not funny no more. So the Miz ended up looking angry. Miz started punching Cody in the head. He ended up twisting Cody's left arm around the top rope. Cody ended up fighting out. So Miz ended up chopping Cody's chest, ended up kicking Cody in his midsection. Miz ended up going for a DDT, but Cody countered that into a delayed front suplex. Cody then charged Miz in the corner, but Miz ended up sending Cody's shoulder first into the ring post. Miz quickly went to the outside. He ended up sending Cody into the ring steps, and Cody ended up clutching his injured arm. And that's when Monday Night Raw went to commercial. Then when Monday Night Raw came back from the commercial, we saw the Miz. He was in control of the match. Miz connected with his corner clothesline to Cody. Miz went to the top rope. Cody ended up scaling the ropes, and Miz ended up managing to push Cody away. Miz went for the diving axe handle, but Cody avoided it, and he ended up hitting Miz with the side effect. So both Cody and Miz were down. Cody then ended up ducking a clothesline, and he ended up hitting a rebound clothesline to the Miz. Cody ended up slingshotting over the Miz and ended up hitting a snap power slam. Cody ended up getting fired up. He hit the ropes. He connected with a disaster kick, and he ended up going for the cover, to which Miz kicked out. And it looked like Cody had some cuts on his shoulders, and he had a big cut on his scalp because it was bleeding a little bit. So Miz ended up getting out of a powerbomb attempt from Cody. He ended up locking in the figure 4 on Cody, but Cody ended up kicking Miz away. Cody ended up going for the Cody cutter. Miz countered that with a skull-crushing finale attempt. Cody ended up fighting out and rolled Miz up, and Miz kicked out. So at the end of the match, we had Miz end up signaling for the end of the match, where Cody ended up getting out of the skull-crushing finale. He ended up hitting the Cody cutter. Rhodes got fired up, and Rhodes ended up hitting the crossroads on the Miz, and he ended up going for the cover. And there you go. Cody Rhodes ended up winning the match. Overall, this was a decent match, and when Cody was making his way to the back, you saw him bleeding from the back of his head. But I said, overall, it was a decent match. You know, Cody brought Miz to, having a decent match. So then we had Becky Lynch. Becky Lynch was making her way to the ring, and she was talking with Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens. Becky Lynch walked off as she looked toward a display as showed the Alpha Academy, Owens and Chad Gable, and Maxine Dupree. Maxine Dupree was wearing an Olympic singlet, and they were working on, move. And then Becky Lynch made her entrance, and Monday Night Raw went to commercial. Then when Monday Night Raw came back from the commercial, Becky Lynch stood in the ring, to which Kevin Patrick, before they went to commercial, he ended up calling Becky Lynch Becky Green. Yeah, that's what Kevin Patrick called Becky Lynch on commentary. So Becky Lynch stood in the ring, she got on the mic, she ended up saying, "The man has come around to Wichita." She ended up saying that the man is going to Money in the Bank. Becky ended up saying that she's been lucky enough to do a lot of things in her career. But one thing has eluded her: winning the Money in the Bank ladder match. Becky ended up saying that she has a good feeling about this year. She went on to say that we've all been conditioned to think that the number one person in the company is the person that holds the championship. So Becky Lynch ended up saying that she has a new idea. The number one person in the company is the person with all the power. She ended up saying that person is the one holding the briefcase. Becky wanted to say that they have the power to make the championship scared and off their game. Becky ended up saying that she is getting tongue-tied because she loves power. She ended up saying when people get scared, they do stupid, crazy, and dangerous things. Becky ended up saying that she likes that because it makes her better. She ended up going on to say, when we think of people being scared, we only need to look at Trish Stratus. She ended up saying that Trish Stratus was so scared that she was going to be exposed at Night of Champions, that she got an insurance policy in Zoey Stark. So then Zoey Stark ended up coming out. Zoey Stark walked out to the stage. Stark got on the mic, and she ended up saying that she's heard enough. She ended up saying that Becky has a list of accomplishments, but the one accomplishment she'll never get to do is beat Trish Stratus. Zoey Stark ended up saying that Money in the Bank, she'll add not being able to beat Zoey Stark to her list of failures. Becky then ended up saying that she admits she's had a lot of failures, but she learns from them, and that makes her great. So Becky ended up saying that we don't know anything about Zoey Stark. She ended up saying that she knows Stark is special in the ring. Becky went on to say that she knows Zoey Stark has finesse, agility, and power. She ended up saying that the one thing Stark lacks is a personality. So Zoey Stark ended up flipping out. Stark ended up saying that if Becky wants to talk about personality, she must not own a mirror. To which she ended up screaming at that, which was awful. It was awful how that was said by Zoey Stark. She was like, "Oh, you must not own a mirror!" Zoey Stark then went on to say that Becky didn't become relevant on her personality, and that she became relevant by someone breaking her face. She ended up saying that Becky is scratching and clawing to hold on to that fame, and that she's trying to hold on to Trish Stratus. Zoey Stark then ended up saying that Money in the Bank she'll break Becky's face and make her famous. So Becky Lynch then challenged Zoey Stark to come to the ring, but Chelsea Green and Sonya Deville came out. So Sonya Deville ended up asking for the music to start, to which Zoey Stark was not happy. Sonya Deville ended up getting on the mic. She ended up saying that they want to address Becky. Chelsea Green ended up saying that the only reason she didn't fight back is because she cares about Sonya Deville, her tag team partner. Becky ended up telling Chelsea Green to get in the ring. Becky Lynch then ended up telling Zoey Stark to watch and see why she's famous. And that was pretty much how this segment ended. This segment was fucking awful. It was absolutely cringe. And Zoey Stark was fucking awful on the mic. Especially when She ended up talking about Becky's personality, saying that she must not own a mirror. I was like, oh my God, that was so fucking awful. God. Absolutely cringe it was. So then we had Becky Lynch versus Chelsea Green. This was boring. Absolutely boring. Becky Lynch took Chelsea Green down with a shoulder tackle, and she ended up knocking Chelsea Green to the corner. Chelsea Green ended up delivering a boot to Becky, and Becky ended up dropping Green on the apron and knocked her to the floor. And then Monday Night Raw went to commercial. Then when Monday Night Raw came back from the commercial, Chelsea Green was in control of the match. She ended up taking Becky Lynch down, and she applied a chin lock to Becky. So they showed during the break what happened. Sonya Deville distracted Becky, which allowed Chelsea Green to knock Becky off the apron. Becky started to fight out of the chin lock. Zoe Stark sat on top of one of the ladders that were on the stage because the stage was decorated with ladders. Chelsea Green ended up taking Becky Lynch down. She ended up pinning a stomp into the bottom turnbuckle. Chelsea Green then knocked Becky down and pushed her head. Lynch ended up fighting back, ended up sending Chelsea Green to the corner. Chelsea Green put Becky Lynch on the apron, and Becky ended up knocking Chelsea Green back. Becky Lynch went to the top rope. Chelsea Green then cut Becky off. Becky knocked Chelsea Green down to the canvas, ended up hitting a missile drop kick. Chelsea Green then rolled out of the ring, and that led to Becky Lynch hitting the baseball slide to Chelsea Green. Becky then ended up hitting a diving elbow off the apron to Chelsea Green and sent her into the barricade a few times. So Becky ended up getting Chelsea Green back into the ring. Chelsea Green fought back. She ended up hitting a kick to Becky's head, and she ended up going for a finish, but Becky ended up fighting out. Becky went for the manhandle slam, but Chelsea Green countered with a roll-up, to which Becky ended up kicking out. And Becky immediately transitioned into the disarm her on Chelsea Green. Chelsea ended up tapping out. So there you go. Becky Lynch ended up winning the match. Overall, match was boring, in my opinion. And then we saw the Judgment Day. Damian Priest, Finn Balor, Dominic, and Rhea Ripley. They were walking backstage. Rhea Ripley was bragging about Dom. So they end up asking if Balor is okay, to which Balor is like looking withdrawn from the group. Balor ended up saying that he has a lot on his mind. Priest ended up saying that he's going to qualify for Money in the Bank because he wants to do it alone. Rhea Ripley ended up saying that Priest has got this. Priest then walked off, and Balor looked absolutely furious. And pretty much that was that. And then we had Matt Riddle versus Damian Priest. Money in the Bank qualifying match. This was a very good match here. So the match started off with Priest ended up kicking Riddle in his midsection. Priest ended up clubbing Riddle down. Priest then clubbed Matt Riddle's spine and kicked Riddle in his ribs. Riddle blocked the second kick. He ended up going for the ankle lock on Priest, but Priest ended up grabbing the top rope. Priest then went and slapped Riddle, but Riddle immediately came back with the Kimura lock, to which Priest powered out of that. Riddle then countered with a sleeper hold on Priest. Priest ended up backing Riddle to the corner and elbowed him. Priest then threw Riddle into the corner, but Riddle ended up punching Priest back. Priest then ended up putting the brakes on the whip, and Riddle ended up ducking a pair of clotheslines from Priest, and Riddle ended up hitting a flying kick to take Priest down. Riddle then ended up hitting a running forearm in the corner. He hit the ropes. He ended up ducking a spin kick from Priest, and Riddle ended up hitting another running forearm to Priest. Riddle then blocked a punch from Priest. He ended up punching Priest in the face, and that punch just infuriated Priest. Riddle ended up telling Priest to bring it. So Priest ended up charging at Riddle, but Riddle pulled the top rope down and got Priest out of the ring. Riddle ended up going for a running kick, Priest blocked it, and he ended up sweeping Riddle's feet. So Riddle was down at ringside. Priest ended up charging at Riddle, but Riddle sent Priest into the commentary table. He got Priest back into the ring, ended up hitting the avalanche. Riddle then ended up hitting a running forearm to Priest. Priest then blocked the kick and took Riddle down with a flatliner. So Priest ended up putting Riddle in the corner, started beating him down. Priest then ended up taunting the crowd. Riddle punched back. Priest ended up kneeing Riddle in his midsection, and then he ended up hitting a spinning backbreaker to Riddle. So Priest ended up going for the cover, to which Riddle kicked out. Priest then ended up applying a surfboard stretch on Riddle. Riddle fought out and monkey flipped Priest and rolled him up, and Priest ended up kicking out. Riddle then blocked the kick and he ended up kicking Priest in his ribs. So Riddle ended up striking away at Priest, ended up hitting an overhead kick to Priest's skull. Riddle kicked up and he ended up hitting an exploder to Priest. Riddle then followed up with the Broton and he got the crowd going. Priest rolled out of the ring to recover. Riddle ended up going to the apron and kicked Priest in the face. Riddle then ended up hitting a springboard floating bro down to the floor. So Riddle hit the ground hard. Riddle ended up getting Priest back into the ring. He lifted him up. Priest slid off. And Priest ended up lifting Riddle. Riddle slid off, ended up hitting a Bridget German suplex, and Priest kicked out. So we had Riddle and Priest end up exchanging punches from their knees. Priest ended up blocking an overhead kick, and he ended up kicking away at Riddle's body. Priest ended up decking Riddle with a right hand. Riddle responded with a stiff knee. Riddle ended up going for a suplex, but Priest countered that with a broken arrow. So at the end of the match, Riddle ended up going for a springboard. Priest caught Riddle and ended up hitting the crucifix bomb, and he ended up going for the cover. And there you go. Damian Priest ended up winning the match. So Priest ended up joining Butch, Shinsuke Nakamura, Santos Escobar, LA Knight, and Ricochet. Those are your men's Money in the Bank participants. So, but overall, this was a good match between Priest and Riddle for qualified match for Money in the Bank. Post-match, Gunther and Ludwig Kaiser end up coming out. Priest literally looked toward Gunther and Kaiser. Priest got out of the ring, and he ended up telling Gunther to pick the bones. So Gunther and Kaiser got into the ring, and they beat it down on Matt Riddle for Riddle taking out Giovanni Vinci last week. Kaiser ended up holding Riddle up for Gunther to chop him. So Imperium stood tall over Riddle, and pretty much that was basically that. And then we saw Kathy Kelly. Kathy Kelly was backstage with Cody Rhodes. Kathy Kelly ended up asking Cody about the match against Dominic Mysterio at Money in the Bank being made official. Cody ended up saying that it wouldn't be official without Mommy. He ended up saying Brock Lesnar won't show up and Dominic won't go away. He ended up saying every eye was on him on April 2nd at WrestleMania. Cody ended up saying that he is clinging to every path of his story. So he ended up saying that Brock Lesnar and Dominic won't knock him off the path. He ended up saying that at Money in the Bank in London, he'll take Dom out. So pretty much that was basically that. And as Monday Night Raw came back from the commercial, Byron Saxton was backstage with Natalya. So Natalya ended up telling Byron Saxton that being herself hasn't gotten her anywhere. And then she starts to get emotional. She ended up saying maybe she doesn't know who she is anymore. And then she just walked off. Natalya was getting, emotional. So then Byron Saxton walked over to Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn, the undisputed WWE Tag Team Champions. He ended up asking Owens about losing to Gunther. Owens ended up saying to Byron Saxton that he almost beat the unbeatable. So then Gunther showed up with Ludwig Kaiser. And Gunther ended up saying that they delivered payback to Riddle. Sami Zayn ended up saying that it took 3 of them to beat Owens before asking where Baldy is. Of course, talking about Giovanni Vinci. So then Adam Pearce showed up. Kevin Owens ended up saying that Pearce is the wrong Baldy. Kaiser ended up saying that if they're so confident, then they should put the tag titles on the line tonight. Kevin Owens got fired up, and he ended up saying that he's going to put on the right t-shirt and shorts. Sami Zayn then ended up telling Gunther and Kaiser that they're looking at the tag team champions. Gunther ended up telling Pearce to make the match official. So Pearce ended up saying that he'll think about it. And that was that. But obviously, it was made official. It was the main event of the show tonight. So then we saw Ricochet versus Bronson Reed. This was an enjoyable match here. Ricochet ended up delivering a drop kick to Bronson Reed, which it did nothing to Reed. Ricochet started punching away at Reed, but Reed ended up pushing Ricochet off. Ricochet started kicking away at Reed's legs. Reed then ended up grabbing Ricochet by his throat, but Ricochet ended up punching Reed. So Reed was not pleased with that, and Reed ended up forearming Ricochet down. Shinsuke Nakamura walked out, and Ricochet avoided an avalanche from Bronson Reed. He ended up hitting a pair of running forearms to Reed, which didn't take Reed down. Ricochet then ducked the clothesline from Reed. He ended up going for a dive. Reed ended up grabbing him and powered Ricochet into a front suplex on the top rope. Reed then ended up yanking on the ropes to slam Ricochet back into the ring. Reed then avalanched Ricochet in the center of the ring, and he stared down at Nakamura as Monday Night Raw went to commercial. Then as Monday Night Raw came back from the commercial, Ricochet was in control of the match. He ended up stunning Bronson Reed with a drop kick. And Ricochet ended up forearming Reed, but Reed ended up pushing him back. Ricochet then booted Reed back, ended up hitting a backflip drop kick, which was followed up by Enziguri. Ricochet got fired up and charged at Reed, but Reed ended up putting Ricochet on the apron. Ricochet then kicked Reed back, ended up hitting a springboard drop kick, which sent Reed to the outside. Ricochet then ended up hitting Reed with a suicide dive, but Reed was still standing. Reed then stumbled into the ring. Ricochet ended up hitting Reed with a springboard crossbody block. So Ricochet ended up following up with a springboard moonsault, to which he ended up going for the cover, and Reed ended up kicking out. So Ricochet ended up knocking Bronson Reed out of the ring. He ended up going for a moonsault off the apron. Reed caught him. Reed ended up throwing Ricochet into Nakamura, who was seated by the commentary table. Reed then wiped his hands clean. He got Ricochet in the ring. Reed went to the top rope, but Nakamura ended up kicking Reed in the head, which caused disqualification. So Bronson Reed won the match by disqualification. Ricochet was not happy with Nakamura. He was arguing with him. Reed then avalanched Nakamura into Ricochet, and he ended up taking both Nakamura and Ricochet out. Reed then ended up hitting Nakamura with a short arm clothesline. He then headed up to the top rope. Ricochet ended up kicking Reed in the head. So Ricochet and Nakamura worked together. They ended up hitting a double team superplex to Reed. And Ricochet and Nakamura looked intensely at each other. And pretty much that was basically that. But overall, it was an enjoyable match up until the disqualification, thanks to Nakamura. And then we saw Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. They were backstage. Sami Zayn ended up saying to Kevin Owens that their titles might be on the line. Sami Zayn ended up asking what Kevin Owens' blow-up was about. Owens ended up saying to Sami that it's been a rough few months, and he rattled off a list of his frustrations. So Sami Zayn ended up asking Owens if he's good. Owens ended up saying to him that he's great. Sami Zayn ended up saying that's all that matters. Kevin Owens ended up saying that he's going to get water, and he offers to get Sami one. So Sami looked a little concerned, And pretty much that was that. And then, as Monday Night Raw came back from the commercial, Adam Pearce was on the phone. And he made the main event official for Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn versus Gunther and Ludwig Kaiser. So Ricochet walked up to Adam Pearce. He ended up telling Adam Pearce that he wants a rematch against Bronson Reed. Pearce ended up saying that Reed already has a match next week. Nakamura then walked up. Ricochet ended up saying that he didn't ask for Nakamura's help and that he doesn't need his help. Ricochet ended up saying that if Nakamura does that one more time, they're going to finish what they started and see who is the last man standing before Money in the Bank. Nakamura ended up saying to Ricochet that he can have Reed after he's done with him. So pretty much that was that. So it looks like it's going to be Nakamura versus Bronson Reed next week. So then we saw Finn Balor. Finn Balor made his way down to the ring. Balor called out Seth Rollins, who of course the workhorse champion. Balor ended up saying that him and Rollins need to talk. No sing-alongs or jokes, just facts. So Balor ended up telling Rollins to get out here. So Seth Rollins made his way down to the ring, of course the World Heavyweight Champion. The crowd started singing to Rollins' theme music, the oh, whoa. So Rollins happily listened to the crowd singing to his theme song. So the singing of the theme song from the crowd there just kept going on and on and on until at the point it got annoying. So Balor ended up asking the crowd if they're done, but the crowd continued to sing on. Rollins looked pleased at the crowd still singing along to his theme song. So Balor ended up saying that he's waited 7 years to say what he has to say. So the crowd better shut up. So the crowd kept on singing, and Balor ended up saying that he'll give them something to sing about. So Balor ended up saying 7 years ago, he was a first-round pick on Monday Night Raw. That was during the 2016 draft, which was the last best draft in WWE. If you remember that Monday Night Raw, after the draft, it was a very good show. So, but that was the last time a WWE draft was good. So Balor ended up saying that he beat Roman Reigns on his first night. He ended up saying 3 weeks later he beat Rollins to become the first ever Universal Champion. So the crowd just kept singing to Rollins' theme song. Balor looked irate at that. So Rollins ended up chuckling. Balor ended up saying, "This isn't funny. This is serious." So Rollins ended up asking if Kansas is having fun tonight. They loudly cheered for Rollins. Balor ended up saying that he's not having fun and that this is serious. He ended up saying he's been waiting for 7 years to say this. So Rollins ended up asking what he's been waiting 7 years to say. He ended up saying that if it's that damn important, that he's going to ruin the crowd's party, then he better get it off his chest. So Balor ended up saying what should have been the highest of highs for him in an instant became the lowest of lows because of Rollins. He ended up saying Rollins gave him a torn bicep, a torn pec, and a torn labrum. So Balor ended up saying that this is a hard business. This is a tough business. And injuries happen. He ended up saying what bothered him other than the fact that these idiots won't stop singing. So the crowd just started singing louder with Rollins' theme song. So Balor ended up saying that the crowd doesn't actually like Rollins and that they just like his theme song. So Rollins ended up asking what Balor's talking about. Balor ended up saying that Rollins took everything from him. He ended up saying that Rollins took his momentum, his Universal Championship, and a year from his career. If you remember, that all happened at SummerSlam in 2016. So you have saying Rollins took everything. Now it's his turn to take it all back from Rollins. Balor ended up saying that he's going to take Rollins' momentum, his World Heavyweight Championship, and a year from his career. And he ended up saying that he'll do that at Money in the Bank. Rollins then started thinking about it. The crowd started singing to his theme song again. Rollins then cackled a bit at Balor, and the crowd was cheering. Rollins ended up saying that Kansas is too kind, but he's not laughing because they sang Balor's promo out of the building. Rollins ended up saying that he's laughing because this is the Finn Balor he's been waiting to see for 7 years. He ended up saying the inaugural Universal Championship match at SummerSlam in Brooklyn sent them on different career paths. He ended up saying one of them got bitter and one of them got better. Rollins ended up saying that he's done some bad things over the past 7 years, and that he's also made memories, made history, and made moments that these people will never forget. Rollins ended up saying that he did that because he changed, adapted, and rolled with the punches, and got better every single day. So he ended up saying that he's the greatest version of himself, and that the proof is in the World Heavyweight Championship. So Rollins ended up saying that if Balor wants a crack at it at Money in the Bank, Balor is on. So Rollins ended up looking at Balor. The crowd started singing to Rollins' theme again. So Rollins ended up saying that he has to know which version of Balor is coming to London to fight for the World Heavyweight Championship. He ended up saying that this bitter shell of a champion doesn't stand a chance. But the Finn Balor that beat him to become the first ever Universal Champion with his arm hanging off his body, he's got a shot. So Rollins ended up asking if Balor is going to bring that Finn Balor to Money in the Bank, or is he going to bring the guy that's been walking around for the past 7 years acting like a little bitch? So Rollins then laughed and he walked off, and pretty much that was basically that. But the crowd singing long in this segment, it just got annoying, in my opinion. But I thought it was a pretty, decent promo from Balor and Rollins here. Mentioning what happened 7 years ago, at SummerSlam 2016. And then we had Smiling Raquel Rodriguez. She was smiling, showing her pearly whites. Yeah, Smiling Raquel. So she ended up taking on Shayna Baszler. And this was just a quick match here. Raquel ended up quickly powering Baszler up. She ended up hitting a fallaway slam. Raquel ended up attacking Baszler. She ended up hitting the second fallaway slam. Raquel ended up going for a slingshot elbow drop, but Baszler ended up getting out of the ring. Raquel ended up getting Baszler in the ring, and she ended up missing a big boot. Baszler ended up kicking Raquel in the back of her knee. Baszler ended up attacking Raquel's knee for a bit, but Raquel ended up fighting back. Ronda Rousey, of course, who was also out there, she got on the apron and distracted Raquel. Baszler then rolled Raquel up, and Ronda ended up holding Baszler down to help Shayna get the pin. So there you go. Shayna Baszler ended up winning the match. Overall, quick match it was. So before match with Raquel and Shayna, they made the match official. It will be Seth Rollins versus Balor at Money in the Bank. So we're getting that. And we had, replay shown of Alba Fire and Isla Dawn challenging Ronda Rousey and Shayna Baszler to a unification match. So that's going to be happening. But after Raquel Rodriguez versus Shayna Baszler, we had a video showcasing the life and times of the Iron Sheik, who passed away last Wednesday. It's the same video package that we saw on SmackDown, but very well done. video package. It was showcasing the life and times of the Iron Sheik. May he rest in peace. And then after that, we had Chad Gable versus Erik. Chad Gable was accompanied by Otis and Maxine Dupree. Erik was accompanied by Ivar and Valhalla. And this was a quick match here. Erik ended up screaming at Chad Gable. Chad Gable responded with shush. Chad Gable then took Erik down and applied an armbar. Erik ended up whipping him off and shoulder tackling Chad Gable down. Erik knocked Chad Gable back and he put Gable on the top rope. Gable then ended up shoving Erik down, ended up hitting a diving headbutt. So Valhalla looked at Maxine Dupree from across the ring. Valhalla ended up angrily charging at Maxine. Maxine ended up hitting Valhalla with an arm drag on the floor. Chad Gable then rolled Erik up, and there you go. Chad Gable ended up winning the match. Overall, quick match it was. So then we had Baszler backstage. He was talking with JD McDonough. Damian Priest ended up walking up, and JD McDonough walked off. Priest ended up saying that Baszler looks to be in a better mood now, that he has a title match. Baszler ended up asking if Priest would cash in Money in the Bank on him if he won it. Priest ended up saying that he wouldn't do that to Baszler. And he ended up saying that Rollins has Baszler all over the place. Priest ended up saying that Baszler needs to make it worth it. So pretty much that was basically that. But hopefully soon we'll be seeing JD McDonough a part of Judgment Day, which definitely needs to happen. And then we saw Kathy Kelly. Kathy Kelly was backstage with Seth Rollins. Kathy Kelly ended up asking Rollins if he's ready to face a very bitter Finn Balor. Rollins laughed, and he ended up telling Kathy Kelly that he's prepared. He ended up saying after he beats Balor at Money in the Bank, he'll lose his mind, and maybe even Damian Priest. So Rollins ended up saying that he's going to issue an open challenge for the World Heavyweight Championship next week on Monday Night Raw. So there you go. Rollins issuing an open challenge for the World Heavyweight Championship next week. And then also next week on Monday Night Raw, we're getting the return of Logan Paul. God, we have to endure Logan Paul next week. God help us all. And then we're going to see Shinsuke Nakamura versus Bronson Reed. Main event. Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn versus Gunther and Ludwig Kaiser. This is for the Undisputed WWE Tag Team Championship. And this was a very fun, good main event. This brought the crowd to their feet as the match progressed. So Sami Zayn and Gunther started off the match. Both guys ended up blocking up. Gunther ended up shoving Sami Zayn down. Sami Zayn pulled himself up. Gunther shoved Zayn to the corner. Zayn ducked a chop from Gunther, and then Sami Zayn started chopping away at Gunther. Gunther angrily fighted out, and he ended up taking Sami Zayn down. Gunther then ended up hitting a headlock takeover. Sami Zayn fought up, but Gunther ended up kneeing Zayn. Gunther charged at Zayn, but Zayn pulled the top rope down and got Gunther out of the ring. Sami Zayn then took Gunther out with a somersault senton, which was good. And then Monday Night Raw went to commercial. So then when Monday Night Raw came back from the commercial, Sami Zayn was in control of the match. He elbowed Ludwig Kaiser in the head. Kaiser fought back with a kick to Sami Zayn, and then he locked in a side headlock. Sami Zayn whipped Kaiser off. Kaiser then ended up hitting a shoulder tackle to Zayn. Zayn quickly ended up coming back with an arm drag. Kaiser ended up fighting up. He pulled Sami's hair to put him in the corner. Zayn reversed the whip to the opposite corner. He ended up going up to the top rope, but Kaiser ended up attacking him. Sami Zayn knocked Kaiser back, ended up hitting a diving elbow to Kaiser's head. He ended up going for the cover, and Kaiser kicked out. Sami Zayn put Kaiser in the corner and tagged in Kevin Owens. Zayn hit Kaiser with a drop toe hold. Owens followed up with a senton splash. Owens then stomped Kaiser and hit a springboard moonsault. He ended up going for the cover, to which Kaiser kicked out. Kaiser started punching away at Kevin Owens, but Owens ended up reversing the whip. Kaiser viciously elbowed Owens in the head. Kaiser hit the ropes, but Owens ended up turning Kaiser inside out with a clothesline, and he followed up with a senton, and he ended up going for the cover, to which Kaiser kicked out. Sami Zayn tagged back in. He ended up clubbing Kaiser's back. Kaiser quickly drives Sami Zayn to his corner, but Sami Zayn fought back. Gunther blind tagged in. Sami Zayn ended up knocking Kaiser out of the ring. Gunther attacked Sami Zayn from behind with a big boot, and he ended up knocking Kevin Owens off the ring apron. Gunther ended up splashing Sami Zayn, and he ended up going for the cover, to which Sami Zayn kicked out. Gunther then chopped Sami Zayn's chest, sending him down to the canvas. Kaiser tagged in and applied a chinlock on Zayn. Zayn fought up, but Kaiser started punching him in the face. Kaiser then used the ropes to turn Sami Zayn upside down. Kaiser then drop-kicked Zayn. Gunther then grabbed Zayn and gave him a back suplex on the apron. And then Monday Night Raw went to commercial. Then when Monday Night Raw came back from the commercial, Sami Zayn was fighting back against Kaiser on the top rope. Sami Zayn then ended up hitting a sunset flip powerbomb off the second rope, which was great, and that brought the crowd to their feet. They were loving what they were seeing. So Owens and Gunther tagged in. Owens wildly punched away at Gunther. Owens ended up hitting a clothesline, but Gunther didn't go down. Owens ended up trying again to hit the clothesline, and Gunther also didn't go down. Gunther ended up stunning Owens with a big boot, but Owens bounced right back with a clothesline, which finally took Gunther down. Owens then followed up with a senton splash and exploded suplex to Gunther. Owens then clotheslined Kaiser on the apron, and he ended up delivering a super kick to Gunther, which knocked Gunther down. Owens ended up hitting Gunther with a cannonball in the corner. Owens ended up going to the top rope, and he connected with a swanton on Gunther, to which Owens ended up going for the cover, and Gunther kicked out. So Owens was looking down at Gunther before being distracted by Kaiser. Gunther rolled Owens up, to which Owens ended up kicking out. Owens went for the stunner, but Gunther fought out. So we had both Owens and Gunther end up delivering a big boost to each other. So Sami Zayn and Kaiser tagged in. Sami Zayn ended up hitting an exploder into the turnbuckles. Zayn ended up setting up for the Ludwig kick, but Gunther pulls Sami Zayn out of the ring. Gunther ended up going for a chop, but he ended up hitting the ring post when Sami Zayn ended up moving out of the way. Zayn ended up getting in the ring. He went for the Blue Thunder Bomb, but Kaiser ended up getting out, and he ended up hitting an Enziguri. So Kaiser then crushed Sami Zayn with a rolling Death Valley driver. Gunther tagged in. Kaiser ended up knocking Owens off the apron. Gunther and Kaiser ended up hitting a throw into a European uppercut. Kaiser then wiped out Owens with a suicide dive. Kaiser's feet got caught on the ropes a little bit. So Gunther ended up delivering a vicious lariat to Sami Zayn, and Gunther ended up going for the cover, and Sami Zayn ended up kicking out. So later on, we had Owens and Gunther end up brawling at ringside. Gunther ended up sending Owens into the ring post, and then all of a sudden, Matt Riddle made his way down the ramp, and officials end up flanking Matt Riddle. Gunther ended up big booting Riddle down. Owens then DDT Gunther on the ramp, which was crazy. So in the ring, Sami Zayn ended up hitting Kaiser with the Blue Thunder Bomb, and Sami Zayn ended up going for the cover. And there you go. Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn ended up winning the match, retaining the Undisputed WWE Tag Team Championship. Overall, this was a fun, entertaining, awesome main event match between Owens, Zayn, and Gunther and Kaiser. And that was how Monday Night Raw went off the air. Overall, Monday Night Raw, just a boring, terrible show it was. And with Cody Rhodes not being in the Money in the Bank ladder match, it's pretty obvious who was going to win it. It's very predictable. Anyways, that's it for the Monday Night Raw review. Thank you all for watching. Hope you all enjoyed this review. Definitely give the video a thumbs up, comment, subscribe, and I will see you all on Wednesday for AEW Dynamite. So, see you then.